Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about some of the girls in Potomac. All right, so let's get into it. So, according to page 6. So, Mia Thornton calls Gizelle Bryant embezzlement jab foul. So, Gizelle Bryant wanted to pop off, and now Mia Thornton is happy to get her adjusted. The Real Housewives of Potomac star reacts to the former's embezzlement jab spewed during part one of the season 7 reunion on page 6 virtual reality podcast. Do I feel like it was foul for her to bring that up on this platform? She tells us, sure. In October 2022, the Bravo celebrity who helps her husband, Gordon Thornton, run a chain of chiropractic clinics called the Joint Chiropractic, alleged that the entrepreneur's siblings revoked his access to the company's bank account. While while the two were out of the country, Mia made the shocking claim on Instagram, telling her followers, "I've since learned that my salary will no longer continue past the next payroll cycle due to my unwavering loyalty to Gordon." She went on to say that the 70-year-old G had trusted his brothers to support and carry on the family legacy. At the reunion, Bryant questioned Mia's story. It looked very much like a little bit of embezzlement, kind of. Like there was money that you guys were taking from the company, the Reasonably Shady podcast co-host said. And that was paying for the house, that was paying for the renovation, and then you were cut off from the bank account. So it looked like a little bit of embezzling. And the truth of the matter, we're gonna finish reading this. Mia then replied, "Why would I go public if I were stealing money? Like, come on now. I would rather keep that quiet." Girl, ex Jen Shaw. I'm sure it's a few housewives. Phaedra had a whole husband, Apollo, on TV talking about how he spends $5,000 to $8,000 at the strip club, and we know Apollo didn't have not one job. Erica's husband, Erica Jane, her husband was on TV. He over there stealing from widows, orphans, and burn victims. And he on TV smiling every week. I just said, girl, being on TV ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Some of y'all think y'all bigger than the law and y'all won't get caught. Um, Anyways, what it comes down to is this for me. And this is why I say no tea, no shade, that Mia has to be delayed. Mia has to be slow. Mia has to be on the spectrum. Mia has to have some developmental delays because there's no way that someone who I guess you consider a friend could question to your face in front of a group of people, "Hi, is this what no cancer looks like?" Then at the reunion accuse you of embezzlement, and girl, you're still cool with her. But the person who you try and fight and act a fool and throw drinks and purses to the point where, girl, you're bleeding is Dr. Wendy. That's the person who you try to fight. Girl, like, it's weird. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And before someone gets into the comment section, I am well aware that, yes, from what I can remember, Dr. Wendy did kind of start with Mia, when Mia was first introduced to the group. Remember when Dr. Wendy was like, "What type of surgery what kind of work have you had done?" So I'm not going to sit here and act like Wendy wasn't the first one who kind of took a little jab at Mia, but it still doesn't add up to how we got to the point that Mia was really trying to fight Dr. Wendy over a business dealing with Peter Thomas that had absolutely nothing to do with her. But girl, your home girl, I'm assuming, I don't know if she's your home girl, but this other woman can question whether or not you have cancer and accuse you of embezzlement on cable television. Girl. And the only thing you have to say is, "That's foul." Girl, what? I don't know. That's your home girl, okay? All right? Let's move on. And so this is according to the Insider. Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy Osefo calls for disciplinary action against Mia Thornton for throwing a drink on her. So, Real Housewives of Potomac star Dr. Wendy Osefo is still reeling from the events of season 7 and says her co-star Mia Thornton must face consequences for throwing a drink on her. The latest season of the hit Bravo reality show comes to an end with part 3 of the reunion airing Sunday, but Osefo told Insider that she is still coming to terms with the events that took place last year, which aired earlier in the season. Every time I see the clip of Mia assaulting me and throwing a drink in my face, I'm still beside myself. I can't believe that happened, Osefo told Insider Thursday. The altercation occurred during a group trip to Miami last May. Osefo and Thornton got into a heated debate about a mutual acquaintance and former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Peter Thomas, who owns the restaurant in which they were dining. It really did impact me in a way that I felt violated. In the reunion, you hear me say you disrespected me to my deepest core. For me, throwing a drink in someone's face, especially since you've already sipped from, oh, girl. Oh, that's almost like spitting in somebody's face. It just felt like one of the highest forms. She basically is almost like spitting on them. If it, I'm sorry, I just felt as though that was one of the highest forms of disrespect. The mother of 3 continued, I am someone who takes pride in my ability to convey my messages through the use of my words, and Mia's inability to do that. And the fact she got flustered and she thought the best way to combat me was physically attack me. It's something I just can't stand beside. I don't think there's any excuses to that. Insider reached out to Thornton but didn't immediately hear back. Still in a 2022 interview with Page Six, even Real, the reality star, regretted the incident. I do not think that anybody deserves to have a glass thrown in their face. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I have this thing with food and it's flying in the air clearly, she said. Anyways, girl. Listen, Mia ain't the first one to get into some type of physical altercation on TV. Um, she's not the first person. I feel like she should be the last. I do feel like there needs to be some type of consequence. Because at the end of the day, I know a lot of people don't realize this, but Real Housewives of Potomac, Atlanta, New Jersey, Vanderpump Rules, girl, Below Deck, like, you know these people are at work. And for most people at work, if you fight, you get fired. I'm over the whole fighting situation. Girl, if you want to fight, go to Zeus. They will let you fight. They'll let you. They will. They're going to make sure. Matter of fact, that you make contact. Okay. Um, I think that Mia should suffer some type of consequence. I think that Mia is probably coming back. Yes. So I guess it's kind of. It doesn't really even matter to have this conversation because she's probably going to return next season. But there should be some type of consequence. I think that if you are on a show like Real Housewives of Potomac, where the girls are expected to read and shade, and you can't keep up, and because you can't keep up because your brain doesn't move as fast as the other person, and then you decide to get physical, there needs to be a consequence. There needs to be a consequence. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting around thinking whether or not if I get the best of this person, you know, with my mouth, then, you know, what could possibly happen to me? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody. Y'all think something gonna happen to me? Probably not. Probably not. That's horrible. Can you imagine, girl, all that mess happening and then having to watch it back on TV? I'm talking about like with Dr. Wendy. All that mess happening, then you have to turn around and rewatch it on television. Anyways, that's it. That's the Housewives news. Um, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow when the well probably like I wanna have the review up for the Potomac reunion tomorrow. I don't know. I'm gonna try to do something. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.